Okay, so today is Saturday, the 5th of July 2025, and today's daily leetcode challenge is actually an easy question. The problem is named Find lucky integer in an array. So, what is a lucky integer? It is a number that is repeated the same number of times as its value. Meaning, if we have like the number 2 is going to be repeated in an array called array in this case 2 times. If it's like 5, it's going to be repeated 5 times and so on. So what are we supposed to return? The largest lucky integer in the array. And if there is no lucky integer, we will just return -1. So what we're looking for is the number of occurrences. So the first thing you will think about is a hash map, or in Python it's called a dictionary. So we call it occurrences, and to avoid doing the check of if the key exists or not, we will just use a default dict of int. So in this case it's gonna be 0 by default, and then we will add 1 whenever we find a new occurrence of a certain number. And what we will return is called lucky integer, which is going to be by default -1. So we will need to loop through the elements of our array. So for a in R, and we will update the occurrences hash map, occurrence or dictionary occurrence plus of a plus equals 1. Now we can do the check here, meaning if lucky integer is less than the current number, and also occurrences of the current number is the same as the current number, then we should update the lucky integer. But in some cases we are looping through. Imagine if we had like 4 occurrences of the number 3. At a certain point we will reach the 3 occurrences of number 3, but there's still another 3 left. So we could update the lucky integer, but then again we will find that the 3 is actually actually exists 4 times in our array, so it's gonna be incorrect. So we will need to use 2 for loops. So for the second for loop, instead of looping through the array, we'll just loop through the keys of our dictionary. So for a again in occurrences dot keys, right? Now we will write the conditions. I'll start off with if occurrences of a is equal to a, so this is obvious, meaning if it's a lucky integer, and also if the a is bigger than the lucky integer that we have saved, and this by default equals -1, so we'll just update our lucky integer equals to a, and we will return it. Return lucky integer. Maybe I should have used a smaller variable name. I think this is correct, so we will submit it, and it's very fast and it is correct.